It's exactly what I expected. I wanted to create an online community where the people feel as strongly about this place as they would how New Yorkers feel about New York, and that's definitely happened.
Tell me about it, though. Tell me what the passion is. What's happening? What is happening?
People get online and they share their thoughts, their feelings, and after time, on a daily basis, exchanging this kind of information with people, you start to get to know them just as much as you would, in fact, even more than you would get to know someone in a face-to-face conversation. People open up a lot quicker online than they do face-to-face, and so they can create intense bonds rather quickly.
Happening here.
It gives people another place to connect. I don't think it's because they don't currently have places to connect. It just gives them a more effective place to connect. It's very easy to get online and be instantly connected to people anywhere in the world, actually, but in a system like Echo, it's primarily New York. But you can get online to a great number of people and then find fairly easily the people who share your interests. Like right now in New York, I walk out the door. How do I find the people who have read the books that I've been reading lately or have gone to the plays that I've gone to lately so I can talk to them about it? I can get online, and the way the software is written, I can get to those people very easily and immediately get into a conversation. I mean, I wanted to start a community, so of course I had to be the kind of person that wanted to get people together and likes the idea of going out and being a missionary. I mean, how could you, for instance, found a town if you're not the kind of people that wants to do the tasks required? Originally, I thought that I would just be doing Echo in New York, and it would be this wonderful, salon filled with fabulous places. And I was building it for myself as much as anyone else, so that I could get online and have all these wonderful people and the most brilliant people in New York, and I'd be able to talk to them whenever I wanted. But well, I started being touched by other people's experiences of Echo and getting into making it for everyone else besides myself. And now I want to try it in different cities. Also, I have a selfish reason for everything that I do. So yes, I want to create these communities for other people, but I'm also doing it for myself, and I'm creating communities in places that I would like to spend time. So like I've got 6 in mind. One in Los Angeles, Boston, New Orleans, Minneapolis, Austin, I think that's it. And these are all places that I want to explore, especially Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Boston, and Minneapolis. The internet and most of the earlier online services were created by men, and so they quite naturally created spaces that they were comfortable in. It wasn't on purpose. They weren't sitting there thinking that they were going to create a place that would exclude women. They just, like if you're decorating a home, you just, as a matter of course, you decorate it in a way that you're going to be comfortable. So these people, these early founders, created these systems so that they would be comfortable. And a culture of communicating developed that, it was a culture that men were comfortable communicating. I lost my sentence, but you know what I mean. They talk to each other how men talk to each other, and so that whole culture evolved from that.
Let me ask you another question. What can be done to change it?
No, it's not good. And when I started Echo, we started in that same direction. It was mostly men, and I thought, this is a nightmare. As much as I love men, they're not the only people I want to talk to. I want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to women, and also white men are not the only men that I want to talk to. So I, again, it very much like Jimmy Hoffa, one at a time, pulling these women in. And I focused on women first, but that was only because that was the easiest. It's not that it's only women. I want to completely tinker with the mix so that it's diverse. But I went after women first. I'm a woman, so in terms of people that I want to talk to, I want to talk to women as much as men. And in a lot of sense, I was successful in doing this because I'm a woman. Women would get online and they see Echoes run by a woman, so that changes the tone of things, and that changes how they relate to the place. Every Echo's made up of these areas called conferences, and they are overseen by people who we call hosts, who act very much like hosts at parties. They welcome newcomers. They go around tweaking conversations to make sure the place is exciting and vital. And half the hosts on Echo are women, so women get online and they see, that their women are as much as men. They're running the place. Then, in one of the private conferences I have for women only, I have a topic called "Why Do Women Lurk?" And I said, "Why are you lurking?" And they tell me. I have that benefit that they're going to give me an honest answer. And then the simplest thing that no other online service that does that I can tell is when women complain, I do something about it. I want to experiment. I want to do things with public access and cable rather than traditional advertising. I want to do interactive TV. I don't know if I brought this up at PC Forum, but we're involved with this interactive TV experiment called Electronic Neighborhood, which is one of the more enjoyable things that I'm working on. I love it just as much as Echo. It's this show. You turn on the TV and you see this world, and there's all these places on the world. And 4 callers can call this show at a time, and they're represented as moving lips on the TV. And using the keypad on their phone, they can move in and out of the places on the world. And about 6 months ago, or a little longer, they hired me to help them create a sense of community on this world. And I was very busy, so I said, okay, but let's just fake it. Let's put Echo on the world. There's already 2,000 people on Echo, so you can use them as ringers to jumpstart the rest of the community, the Yorb community. The nickname for this world is Yorb. So we put Echo on the world, and if a caller chose Echo, what they would see coming across the screen is people in chat on Echo. I don't know if you know what chat is, but in chat, everything that people type in on their screen comes by, on their keyboard comes by on the screen. So you see like a conversation cascading in text. So if the caller would see the people on Echo talking, and what ended up happening was it was the interaction between the Echo people and the callers that was the most popular thing. So they took Echo off the world, and now when you turn the TV on, Echo always appears at the top third of the screen. And now the whole show revolves around the callers and the Echo people talking and deciding where to go next in the world and things like that. And they're actually loading another interface in June next month. That's a lot slicker. The one that they have now is very crude, but it'll still be the same. The only difference in the sense of how people talk to each other, they're just changing what it looks like. It looks a lot better, and now it's going to be a car at the bottom of the screen, and the Echo text will appear in the dashboard of the car. So we're just taking that metaphor that what happened to the nth degree, and so now the Echo people and the callers are like driving through this world together. So what happened, what was successful in this interactive TV experiment was not shopping, was not movies on demand. What people liked the most was connecting to other people. So that's what's successful in the online world, is not so much the information, but the connection. What's more exciting is not to get information in file form, but to get information that's contained within the minds and hearts of other people. I mean, yes, the file form is good too. I don't mean to downplay that. But what's more intense, what really grabs people, is the connection to other people. So that's what's happening in this TV experiment. Is like, yes, they're going into other places to do other things, but what's driving the exploration is that they're doing it together, is that they're doing it and reaching out and finding other people. And a community did form around this TV show. There's a third aspect. They now have this camera, which is they have this camera and microphone literally hanging off the 4th floor of the NYU building, down to the street on Broadway, and the callers can choose the camera, and you can talk to the people on the street, but they can't talk back. In fact, there's now this 3-way conversation. Everybody's handicapped to a certain extent. Like the callers can talk, but you can't see them. The people on the street, you can see them, but they can't talk, and the Echo people just have text, and there's this 3-way conversation that, as crude as it sounds, works. So that's going on. So I would like to do, wherever there's an Echo, I'd like to have a similar thing set up, because there's this community of the people on the street. And for instance, there's people that know that every Thursday night there's a camera on the street, and they'll get underneath that camera. When we had all the snowstorms, they would spell out words to us in the snow. And there's people who know to log into Echo every Thursday night, and then there's people who call up. And there's like a whole new community now. Movies on demand and shopping are a key element of community. Like for me, what do I do in my life? I talk to other people, I eat, I sleep, I go to the movies, I buy things. So yes, they should have videos on demand. In fact, that's what I can't wait for personally. I'm an absolute movie fanatic, and they should have shopping. But the way that I've seen things done, for instance, when you were at PC Forum, when the guy said, online ads don't work from Prodigy, I thought, what an idiot. It's not that online ads don't work. You just didn't do it right. You didn't do it well. In fact, you did it in the most stupid implementation I could possibly think of. You did it just like a magazine and totally ignored all the power of the medium. For instance, shopping on Echo is hugely popular. Hugely popular. Probably more popular in, scaled down sense than it is on Prodigy, because how people are shopping are they're shopping between each other. They're telling each other where to buy things. They're buying and selling to each other. They're saying, where the sales are. They're saying where the best shops are, where the best service is. That's how people shop. So if I was going to do online shopping, I would kind of go along the lines of, some sort of mall, some sort of shopping center. But the key element of shopping is the salespeople, and the salespeople have to be different. In fact, I wouldn't do it in the sense of salespeople. I would do it in the sense of, well, actually, I don't want to talk about how I do it, but I gave away an important element. It's the human connection. That's what makes people shop. That's what makes shopping fun. The right now the people who are online are definitely the brighter segment of the population. So you can't be cheesy about it, which is what Prodigy did. So even if you're going to have cyber salespeople, they can't be like buy me. They have to be very sophisticated kinds of people to work. I mean, that'll change as it gets more mainstream. But even still, I mean, if you can do something with class and with finesse, I think that'll always work better. Unless you want to be the Kmart of cyberspace. Sprint had a network called SprintNet, and what I had suggested to them, and they didn't see as a big business, and I don't quite understand this, but I said what would be a benefit to me, and I thought a way that they could also make money is to have local internet dial-up numbers wherever they have their packet switching service, and if they could just write the program to connect the internet to their packet switching service, I could have customers everywhere.
If I were them, I would have done it.
Yeah, I don't quite get it. And I said, just look at the growth, and I gave them a list of companies that were offering solely internet service. I said, you could have that business. And they ignored it.
Perfect.
Well, see, that's another thing, is like a lot of people don't like what I say. And so I have to get an investor who's going to, just let me do what I want to do, because I've done it long enough. I know what I'm talking about, and I know it's going to succeed, and I know it's going to fail. And so I don't want to do it anybody else's way. Like, go ahead, do it yourself. Don't, get into bed with me.